running a little late tonight because I've been rendering video from being out with Dad and his Navy friend, which that video, there's 2 of those, will be coming tomorrow. So here's Love's Next Door, Chapter 7, and I don't know how many parts this is going to be in. Stacy sat on the living room couch, dressed casually in a pair of cords and neatly pressed denim shirt. Her straight brown hair had been freshly washed and glistened with highlights. Lizzie had called her over an hour ago and said she was on her way, so Stacy had rushed to get ready. In an effort to keep busy, Stacy poured herself a tea and began reviewing the work she had done on her manuscript early in the day. Just as she was about to turn to the next chapter, she heard a knock at the front door. Laying the book aside and what was left of her drink, she walked to the door and opened it. "Well, it's about time," she said, as Lizzie grinned, not taking any offense at her tone. "Sorry I'm late, but something came up unexpectedly," she said, not bothering to explain. "You look like you're raring to go this evening," she said, standing in the front foyer as Stacy went to retrieve her coat. "I'm ready, all right," she said dryly, as she selected a brown suede jacket from the hall closet and pulled it on. "But I'm telling you, Justin better not do anything silly or outrageous tonight," she said, closing the door as they left the house. Lizzie laughed. "You know Justin," was all she said as they walked together towards the car. "What does he have planned, Lizzie?" she asked as she got in the car. "And don't tell me you don't know, because I see it in your eyes." "I was sworn to secrecy," Lizzie said as she started the car. Stacy sat back in the seat, realizing she had no hope of getting the scoop from her friend Lizzie, who at the moment was displaying a cute and smug smile. Great, Justin thought as he pulled into the driveway. Stacy's gone. He opened the back door of his car and removed 2 boxes, which he lugged up the front steps and sat on the top stair. He turned and ran back to his car and removed the remaining 2 boxes from the trunk. He had everything he needed, and all that was left to do was a little assembly and setup. He laughed as he opened the first of the boxes. Tacky, tacky, and tacky. It had taken a surprisingly amount of searching at various stores and rental outfits to find what he was looking for. Justin knew Stacy hated tackiness, and he had often joked about building an addition onto his house to hold his collection of artifacts, as he called them. The room of tackiness would exhibit his many semi-historic objects, including his infamous armadillo guitar case, a life-size Elvis mannequin, a sprinkler head fashioned in the form of a leading lady from The Exorcist, an original Tammy Faye Baker wind-up doll complete with teardrops and smudged mascara, and his pride and joy, his Pez collection. At last, the collection numbered over 65 dispensers. Stacy was aware of his preoccupation with memorabilia and continually poked fun at his wacky collection of nostalgia. Last year she threatened to inform several of his co-workers about his fetish for tacky junk, but Justin quickly headed her off at the pass by threatening to kidnap her dog and give good old Heidi a perm and dye job. Justin sighed as he looked down at all the parts and pieces now covering her front steps. He had to hurry and get to the local fish fry to meet Stacy and Lizzie, but he knew the ornaments, being pink and plastic, would make Stacy shudder. "Lizzie, do you finally have everything you need?" Lizzie patiently waited for her friend to get back in the car again. They'd stopped at the drugstore, the dry cleaners, and Lizzie even took a detour to her office. "Not quite. Now I have to go back home. I just remembered I left your gift on the kitchen table. Sorry, Stacy." Lizzie laughed as she made a U-turn and headed home. Hopefully Justin had had enough time to finish his shenanigans before meeting them for dinner. It was becoming obvious to Stacy that she was stalling. After retrieving the gift, Lizzie returned to the car where Stacy sat with the heater blowing full blast, listening to her favorite radio station. "Where are we off to now?" Stacy asked, watching a local cityscape drift by as Lizzie once again headed the car for town. "We're going to meet Justin at the local fish fry," she said as she maneuvered the vehicle through the quiet streets that led to the pub's back entrance. Local Fish Fry is a place to relax and unwind. The place is popular because casual attire is the order of day, and best of all, the food is outstanding. "I'm starving," Stacy announced, and as if on cue, her stomach growled. "So I hear." Their laughter filled the car as they approached the pub. Lizzie pulled the car into the parking lot beside a big flashing neon sign by the back door of Local Fish Fry. The 2 women walked side by side, quietly giggling as they hurried around the front of the building. They stood in the entrance, letting their eyes adjust to the subdued lighting. The tantalizing smell of home-cooked food lingered in the air, and Stacy felt her stomach turn somersaults once again. "Come on, let's sit down," Lizzie said as she led Stacy to the booth at the back of the restaurant. Stacy slid on the bench beside Lizzie and picked up a laminated menu propped beside the serviette dispenser. I'm thinking that's probably where the napkins are. So where's the ever-exclusive Mr. Justin? She asked as she scanned the drink list on the menu. He'll be here. Don't worry about that, Lizzie said, smiling. A waiter approached the table and placed a drink in front of all of them. What's this? Stacy asked. We haven't ordered anything yet. The young man didn't say a word as he laid a note on the table in front of Stacy. She picked it up and read it aloud to Lizzie. I'll be here soon, birthday girl, Justin. Thank you, Lizzie said, saluting the young waiter with their beverage. Drink up, Stacy, to your very happy birthday, Lizzie said, raising her glass in a toast. Stacy picked up her tea, clinked glasses with her friend, and took a long swallow. When Justin walked in, he immediately spotted the two women at the back of the restaurant, laughing and enjoying themselves. He strolled to the table, carrying two brightly wrapped packages, one under each arm, and a large glossy gift bag. Well, if it isn't the birthday girl, he said, leaning over and giving Stacy a warm, delicate kiss on her cheek. He greeted Lizzie and placed the gifts on the table with mock carefulness and a broad grin. Lizzie slid over to make room for Justin on her side of the bench. And where have you been, or should I ask? Stacy said. You invited me out and then arrived late. Not very sporting of you, Justin, she said as she noticed a knowing look pass between Justin and Lizzie. She looked at Lizzie first. Okay, you two, what have you done? Nothing, Lizzie answered quickly as Stacy pierced her with her hazel eyes. Justin? He laughed at the look in her eyes. You'll find out later. Now let's get some food on this table and let the festivities begin, he said, slapping his hands together on the hardwood table. Slapping his hands down on the hardwood table. So, Stacy, tell me, what does it feel like to be another year older? He teased, waving the waiter over the table. Stacy stuck her tongue out at Justin at the same time the waiter arrived, displaying a big grin. So, ladies, what would you like to have tonight? The birthday girl orders first. Stacy looked at the waiter, realizing he was in on the birthday caper. After placing their orders, Justin stood up. Okay, Stacy, close your eyes, he said. And if I don't? She asked with her hazel eyes beaming. Just do it, pretty please. Both he and Lizzie smiled as they waited for her to comply, knowing she had little choice. This had better be good, she said when she closed her eyes tightly. She felt Justin slip something around her neck. The brush of his warm fingers against her skin made her tingle. She fought the urge to lean into his hands. Next, she felt him place something on top of her head. Justin bent over and softly whispered happy birthday into her ear. Then he turned. Are you ready, Lizzie? Stacy jumped slightly when she heard the click of the camera. Okay, Stacy, open your eyes. Stacy slowly opened her eyes. Both Justin and Lizzie were laughing. She glanced down at what Justin had put around her neck and joined in the laughter. It was a necklace of cards, jokers actually. What's this for? She asked, giggling. That, my friend, is for every trick you've played on me. Give or take a few hundred. She reached up and lifted something from her head. It was a crown, made of foil with letters of the alphabet stuck to it. And this? She inquired, laughing. With this, I dub thee the Queen of Syntax. Then both Justin and Lizzie stood up and bowed before her. To the fabulous Etter, the Queen of Syntax. Very funny, guys, she said, placing the crown before her head. I could get used to being this queen thing. And will you do my bidding, peasants? Both Justin and Lizzie spoke at the same time. Yes, your majesty, but we're not worthy. They broke out laughing once again. The waiter returned with another round of drinks and an assortment of finger foods. Chicken wings, pepperoni nachos, and potato skins. The trio joked and poked fun at each other as they enjoyed their meal. It was like old times in high school when they met after class to have colas and fries. That will be the end of this part of Chapter 7. Tune in tomorrow. I totally hit the wrong button.